Hey, what's good, everybody? Let me officially go ahead and welcome you to 2018. And on behalf of myself, my family, we bid you a happy new year. Pray that your holiday was blessed and prosperous. Pray that it was a time of family, fun, and food, as always, what holidays represent. I pray for those of you who are going through the grief of those loved ones who may have been there last year but were not here this year. We're praying for you because we know that grieving is never limited to a certain timetable. Some people are able to grieve within 2 weeks to 4 weeks. Some people need 4 weeks to 4 months. Other people may need 4 months to a year, and it may be beyond a year. So, for those of you who were going through some type of grieving due to the passing, the transitioning of a loved one, just know that God is ever with you, and you are in our thoughts and in our prayers. Most of all, our prayers. You may not know us, we may not know you, but we pray for you. For the Bible tells us that blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. And this is what we have as our hope, that no matter what type of grieving you may have been experiencing or may be experiencing, you are promised that if you are mourning, that you shall be comforted. So happy new year to you all. Happy 2018. I wanted to just go ahead and just drop this quick word down to you. As you saw in the title, committed, involved. Is there such a thing as being too much, or doing too much, and is there such a thing as being too little? Generally, when we talk about being committed and being involved, we always talk about how there is a lack in being committed and a lack of being involved. But really looking at it from this perspective, I want you to really view commitment and involvement in this way. Commitment is that which means that you're all in about. Involvement just means that you contribute. And I'm a witness that there's some things that you could be involved with that you really need to be committed in. But not only that, but there are some things that you need to be committed in that you need to draw back and just be involved with. See, sometimes we can be so committed, all in with something or with someone, and we are becoming an enabler. We are becoming a crippler. We are becoming one that is causing them not to come into a place of maturity, transformation, or growth, because they know that if there's always a setback, they know that if there's always an issue, they don't even plan or strategize to arise, because they always know they have a fallback. And sometimes being committed to something or to somebody can be a crippling effect to them, because they don't feel as if there is a need to grow. There's not a need to transform. There's not a need to change, because I know I always have that fallback person. With situations such as that, you need to learn how to downgrade yourself from being a committed person in that particular situation to simply being involved. You contribute. You don't put all your emotions in, all your energy, all your heart, mind, and soul. You don't become debilitating in yourself, or you don't become disabled within your own life because you're trying to enable them. Anytime there is a disabling of your life so that you can enable their dysfunction, there is a need to be removed from being committed to going and just simply being involved. Involved just means I contribute. I give you the wisdom. I give you the truth. I'm there. It's not that I'm just cutting you off and totally forsaking you, but I have to take some things out of it because I'm too much invested in it. There's too much of my heart, my emotion. There's too much of my health that is in this thing. And for the sake of your health, for the sake of your sanity, and for the sake of other entities and individuals in which you're committed in, it is unfair to them, and it is unfair to you to put all you have into one thing or one person that is really not putting forth an assertive effort to change, to grow, and to shift their whole trajectory. So learning how to, when we talk about commitment and involvement, again, we look at that as that's something where we need to come up. But looking at commitment and involvement through these lenses and through this scenario, through these perceptions, where in your life do you need to downgrade your commitment to involvement? Where instead of upgrading from involvement to commitment, where do you need to downgrade your commitment to involvement? Where do you need? Is there such a thing as doing too much? Yes, there is. There's a such thing as doing too much. Is there a such thing as being too little? Yeah. In the areas where involvement, where there needs to be commitment, where there needs to be an upgrade from moving from involvement to commitment, because I've been contributing, but now it's requiring me to give more into something, give more into someone that I have only been involved in. Some people need to be committed to their marriage because you've been involved, you've contributing, but you have not put yourself all into your marriage. You contribute. You help pay the bills. You help. You give money here. You give money there. You're bodily present, but you're not totally committed. There needs to be a commitment with the children. There needs to be a commitment to fathering, to mothering. There needs to be a commitment and not just simply an involvement. Involvement means I can contribute. And contributions, where we get the word of a financial contribution. But now your marriage, your family needs more than just a financial contribution. It needs your commitment. It needs your heart commitment. It needs you to separate yourself from things and from things of your past so that you can be able to commit totally to what you are in. Don't fool around with it. Commitment is going to call for your consistency. It's going to call that you be consistent to what you're in and not be sometimey, not to be wishy-washy, as they said back in the day, not to flip and flop. But it's hard for individuals to take anyone serious when they're in one moment, out the next moment, and you need to make a decision as it relates to upgrading from involvement to commitment, that you're going to be one that is going to see this thing throughout the duration. And please understand that this is not gender specific. In other words, anytime we talk about commitment, people always want to automatically go to men having a problem with commitment because they're only involved. But I want to let the ladies know that there are some ladies out there that you need to move from involvement to commitment yourself. There are some ladies out there, there's some mothers out there that need to upgrade themselves from being involved to being committed. This isn't just gender specific. This isn't just racial specific. There are some women of different ethnicities that need to step up, and there are some men of different ethnicities, tongue-tied, that need to step up. And there are both men and women that need to step up for their own children, for the children that are within the household, and quit living selfishly. Sorry, I know I'm kind of chasing a rabbit here, but I'm hearing some things in the Holy Spirit who will see this, that both the man and the woman, both the father and the mother, need to be unselfish so that you all can be committed to the children that you all procreated. The children did not ask to be present in your dysfunction. And yes, you two cannot get along, but y'all need to learn how to get along so that you can be able to create a healthy family environment. If you're co-parenting, you may not be together, but you two need to stop acting like children so that you two can be the adults and the parents in those children's life. You have an obligation to make sure that they don't grow up dysfunctional, because if you continue to exhibit and model dysfunction in the midst of their faces, all you're doing is sowing a seed of dysfunction. And when they grow up and act dysfunctional, you have no one to blame but you, who was acting dysfunctional in the midst of their faces, instead of learning how to act and be a functional family through commitment. So we need to analyze, where does my involvement need to upgrade to commitment? Where in places in my life does commitment need to be downgraded to involvement? Because I'm too much in, I'm too much vested in, I'm doing too much, I'm losing myself, I'm losing my hair, I'm losing sleep, my blood pressure is raised, my health is being affected, and so I need to pull back because I'm a crutch, I'm an enabler, I'm not helping them, I'm hurting them. And I need to learn how to downgrade from being all in to just being a contributor. And then where in my life do I need to learn how to move from being a contributor to being all in. Happy 2018. I believe that this right here, this particular blog, this particular word is going to help you in analyzing honestly. And it can only be analyzed honestly. There's no one that can come in from the outside and assess and tell you what you need to do. Because at the end of the day, we're ministering to grown people, people that are of age, that at the end of the day, someone can tell you where you need to come and trim the fat, where you need to upgrade, where you need to remove this, and where you need to implement this. But at the end of the day, it has to be your choice. It has to be your decision to say, you know what? I'm going to be all in. Or you know what? I'm going to downgrade to be a contributor. So is there such a thing as doing too much? Yes. Is there such a thing as being too little? Yes. Committed. Involved. Which one do you need to come up in? And which one do you need to downsize to? I love you to life. I love you to truth. I invite you, those of you who are part of the emailing, I go to my website. You'll see it at the end here. Get Grace and Truth Moments. It's a 90-day empowerment. It's not your typical devotional. I promise you it's going to challenge you in some areas. It may anger you in some areas because it's really going to light a fire underneath you that's going to push you into a greater understanding of your life, of your purpose, and of who God is and what God is requiring for your life. So go on my website and get this, or go on to the website that you see at the end of this video, and it will have a link where you can get Grace and Truth Moments Volume 1. And I promise you that it's going to be an awesome voyage for your life in 2018. As I say very often, and I mean it sincerely, I love you to life, I love you to truth, and I'll see you the next time. Be blessed. 'Cause